We are back with series 3 of the This Is The Music Meets podcast. To kick us off, we are joined by The Rivers, an exciting indie rock and roll outfit hailing from South Wales. Today has seen them release their second EP, the brilliant Long Road From Nowhere. Here at This Is The Music, we made Call our song of the day today, as well as playing 2 tracks ahead of release on our new radio show, Rise of the Indie Artists on Away Day Radio. Tonight, I'm joined by Dan from the band. Dan, thanks very much for coming on, mate. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. It's good to have new music out, finally. Just 2 long years.
Yeah, it has been quite a while, hasn't it? So, obviously, as we said there, the EP, Long Road From Nowhere, dropped today. The reaction on social media has been superb. So I'm guessing that you and the rest of the band must be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, we didn't know how it would go, having like such a long layoff and not having been able to put out anything really on socials, and then COVID hit and we couldn't even put on gigs or anything. So we're relieved, I think, more than anything.
So before we talk about the EP in further detail, so how did the band start and where did you get your name from?
The band, the name, The Rivers, came from my sister. I'm rubbish at naming bands, so I'm glad I never have to do it ever again. So I just asked her, just think of a band name, and that was the first one she came up with. So I thought, yep, that'll do me. I was quite surprised that no one really had it.
Yeah,
there's like an American band that had it because they've got all our Apple Music stuff. So I'm still trying to get that sorted, like 5 years on. But yeah, I was surprised like there wasn't like a UK band called The Rivers already.
Yeah,
and if there is, please don't sue me. But yeah, it started out when I was in college. I was doing music there, and it started off just people that were on that course.
Yeah.
And then that went for about a year, maybe half a year, and then they left and formed their own band. And then a mutual friend then knew I was looking for, because I didn't want to like stop, and
yeah,
a mutual friend knew that I was looking for members and put me in touch with Evan, who's our bassist. Found Nathan, our drummer, on like one of those join my band websites.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're normally filled with like 40-year-olds looking for like cover bands. So I was kind of giving up hope on that. But he then he sent me a message on that, and we sent him like a demo, which of Hello Today, which was on the first EP. We had like a demo version of that.
Yeah.
Sent him that, and he said he liked it, and he agreed to join. And then just before lockdown, literally at the last gig, we were on the bill with another band, and I really liked their guitarist, so we kidnapped him and persuaded him to join, and he said yes. So and he's completed the gang.
Yeah, nice, lovely. I like the story, and especially the where you got the name of the band from as well. You know, I'm sure that your sister will probably be sniffing around for some royalties or something at some point in the future.
She's probably outside the door now, making sure that I've given her credit.
Brilliant, love it. So obviously, let's have a little chat then about the EP itself. So obviously, you start off with Call. Obviously, a real high energy track with great drumming and a powerful vocal from yourself. So what I'd like to know is on that song is, where did you get the inspiration for like the tempo change there in the middle eight? Because there's quite a sort of an unusual thing really to happen in sort of an indie rock band, really.
Yeah, there's a few. We do like a good tempo change. I think it came from playing it live. I think.
Yeah.
Because we played it. It's along with Persevere. We've been playing them for a little bit, and and like that breakdown bit, we'd like chuck in covers in that bit. We did Bloodhound Gang that do that Mammals song?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bloodhound Gang. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, we usually put like a bit of that in, where like the guitar solo is on the recorded version. So it just came from, I think, just making room for that cover.
Right. Okay.
I wish there was some like mad music theory answer, but no, it's just so we could squeeze in a cover just to get people dancing.
Sometimes the simplest ideas are usually the best ones, and that I love that story. That's great. I really do. I mean, it's brilliant. So on Long Road from Nowhere, it's obviously the name of the EP. The lyrics are quite like reflective, and also as well. So is Persevere as well. So are the songs, are them two songs in particular, are they like autobiographical, or are they sort of like more observational from like a group of friends that you've seen, or just, you know, general life situations type of thing?
I think with a lot of, or most, if not all of the songs, they're all personal, and I always write from like they're all about my life or friends or whatever, like something's happened that day or whatever. But yeah, definitely Long Road and Persevere are definitely more so about friends and like their situations. But yeah, no, I think the whole EP is very personal and but relatable, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, and it definitely is. I think there'll be a lot of people when they listen to this, either today or in the weeks and months ahead, that I think they'll definitely agree with that statement, because that's what I think sort of makes you like as a band, like people want to come and like it's easy for them to like relate to the lyrics and stuff in a way where sometimes you get, you know, lyrics that don't maybe necessarily always mean anything, if that makes sense. No offense to any bands that don't do it the way that you do, but just to get that in there. So obviously the lead single from the EP was Half Cut, and obviously, you know, when I've been talking to you on Instagram and stuff, how much I love that song, and it's my personal favorite actually from the record. It's a real like punchy indie rocker. And I feel it's got a bit of a like a Catfish and the Bottlemen vibe about it. So what's this song about? And how much of an influence have Catfish had on you as a band, or you personally, sort of in terms of like the sound that you're trying to achieve and your songwriting?
Yeah, I think on a personal one, massively. Our bass player will hate us saying that because he can't stand them. But whenever like we get a review and I read it and see how long it takes for the Catfish thing to come up, it's straight in the group chat just to watch him go on a massive rant. It's so funny. But yeah, on a personal, they're like, and as a live band as well, I think they're my favorite live band to go see. And I like the songwriting. It's very like what we do. It's very storytelling, and I think Alex Turner's good at that as well.
Yeah,
but he maybe does it in a more like using metaphors and where we're like straight down the middle. But so yeah, Catfish are up there as a big influence. A lot, pretty much any British indie band that have been floating around for the last few years have played a part somewhere along the line, for sure.
Yeah. So what I'd like to know is on the final song on the EP, Tough Time for Dreamers. Obviously it's just you, an acoustic guitar. So how did you manage to convince the rest of the band that you could go solo with that particular track? And was there any other, like, you know, like a demo version of where it was like a full band type of thing?
No, we did toy with the idea of having like some backing vocals on it, and maybe like in like an orchestral sort of way, but that didn't end up happening. But I was a bit like, I don't know whether to don't know, I didn't want to take away like the boys' work basically, and I didn't want to like make like a solo EP and offend any of them. But they were, I think they, once like they heard the demo of it, they were like, oh no, that works as it is. I don't think it would have been the same song full band. But maybe we can give it a go. One track we can
do it at a live show.
Yeah.
See what
12 guitar solos.
So you kind of have already answered this next question. So was the EP sort of all written before lockdown, or were you able to use that time to sort of be a bit more creative and come up with like new songs, or what's the word I'm trying to think, like alternate or change bits and stuff like that of songs?
For like the first week of lockdown, I think I did what everyone did and thought, this is amazing. I can do everything I've been meaning to do.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'm writing so many songs. This is amazing. And I got to like halfway through week 2. I thought, I'm a bit bored now. But so I still writing a load. And the EP order changed loads right up until like the week before recording, pretty much. There was the single Half Cut that was never going to be on there. The title Long Road was never going to be on there. And Tough Time, they were all late changes, late substitutions. But I'm glad. I think we made the right call. But it just means now we got enough for a next EP or album in the near future.
Yeah. So that's quite interesting then, because I was actually going to ask you, where did you get like obviously Long Road from Nowhere, even, and then he'd merged 2 songs together there. Obviously Long Road from Nowhere is on the obviously on the EP, and that's obviously the title of it. So was it quite easy to pick that out as the EP title, or I'm guessing by the sounds of it must have come quite late in the day to make that call?
It came extremely late as we could leave it. I remember on the last day of the studio, we were like, because we didn't really, obviously like we knew we were making an EP, but we didn't have any plans for title or artwork really. So I remember the last day of the studio, we were all like, oh, what are we going to call it? And we were chucking names about. But I didn't really, I don't know how I think maybe I was doing the artwork for it, and I guess it just matched up with that. Or I don't know, I like the song. I think it's one of the strongest on there. And it's what it is. It's just it's a good title, I guess. But it wasn't like a very well thought out process. I'd be lying if I said it was. It was very late and unorganized, like everything else we do, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, there seems to be a bit of a regular theme going here. I'm sort of picking up. I was
just thinking that as I was saying it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that at all. At the end of the day, as you say, the title works really well, actually. I think, and it doesn't matter how you got there, and it works exactly. For you guys, and it works with the album. So that's fantastic. So obviously you've just played a handful of gigs, which obviously have been the first for you guys in sort of 2 years, really. So how excited were you about getting back on stage, and what's the reaction from the crowd been like?
It's been so good. It was a bit like the whole thing about putting out the EP. We didn't know like how people can take it. We were hoping to see like people just anyone at a gig, and luckily it's sort of picked up where it left off from COVID, because it sort of hit us at like a time where we were getting so many good like gig opportunities, and then it all came to a halt. But it's nice that there has been good crowds for the few gigs that we've done. It's been good to play the new songs as well, and I mean, Cool and Persevere we've been playing for a bit, but the other ones we've been playing them at all the gigs, and they've gone down well. and the old stuff as well. We played a gig in Cardiff a few weeks back, and yeah, it's like the first time I've heard like people sing back lyrics to me, and that was weird and funny. I was trying to stay composed, but it's just funny.
So was when they were singing the lyrics back, is that off the songs off the first EP?
Off the first one, yeah. It's before. I mean, obviously it's before this one was out.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was For You and Industrial Lights mainly. So yes, it's nice to have people that come to the gigs regularly and sing along and put me off. I'll happily take it.
So for people, including myself here, who obviously haven't been lucky enough to see you guys yet, why should they come and see the Rivers? What can they expect?
Well, because you never know what mistake you're going to get. Will I, plug my amp in wrong? Will a guitar string break? Who knows? No, you could just it's just a straight up rock and roll show basically.
Yeah.
And terrible jokes between tuning. That's one thing that we offer.
You can't beat them. You can't beat them. So, in terms of like live dates, what's coming up for you guys?
We may be playing this Saturday. Someone just texted me before I got on this. We're like, "Oh, do you want a slot?"
Right.
I don't know if that's going to happen. So maybe. What do we have? November 4th, we're playing with This Feeling down in Cardiff, supporting Tom Lumley, which would be a good one.
Yeah.
Then we're supporting. Do you know a band, Supermarine? They're from around here, but they're really good. We're supporting them. Yeah, we're supporting them in Newport then on the 6th of November. And then we got loads of December dates that escape me, but we're busy again.
Fantastic. Well, we'll make sure that I'll check them out on your socials and hopefully as well the viewers as well, or the listeners maybe I should say. Maybe they'll check them out on your socials as well. But we'll include the dates on our bio as well, just to help out. So from the EP, what is your personal favourite song, if that is possible, to pick just one?
Yeah, we were me and a friend we were having a Spotify listening session last night, and we were on about this. I think I'd probably biasly have to say Tough Time for Dreamers, but that feels wrong.
The solo career started already. Look.
Yeah, they're going to be angry in the group chat. Yeah, it does feel wrong picking that. I like all of them. Half Cut's definitely up there, but Long Road's up there. Any of them. It probably changed throughout the week.
Yeah,
probably changed throughout the hours, to be fair.
It is always a difficult question to answer, really. So it's a tough one. So for you personally, who are your like musical influences?
There's so many, but so many different reasons. Oasis were the ones that made me want to be in a band. Mm-hmm. And then a band called Trampoline. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
I love them.
Oasis as well, I should say.
They're this was like a good before the Rivers even started, so maybe like 2015, 16.
Yeah.
And I saw them play a venue in Merthyr to like 4 people, and they played it as if it was like sold out, and it was amazing. So they inspired me to want to play live.
Yeah.
And then on the songwriting front, The Strokes, Catfish, obviously, Mike Skinner as well.
Yeah. He's quite underrated, I think, actually, as a as a songwriter. I think maybe that's because of
he really is.
the genre of his music. Maybe I don't know, but
yeah. I've lost count of the amount of people I've tried to get into the streets, and they just won't have it. Like,
wow.
he's really good.
Yeah,
he's just so good. There's loads of even like newer bands, like the Skinner Brothers.
Yeah, it's top lad Zach.
Yeah, I was listening to his podcast of this actually.
Yeah,
and it
I'm glad someone listened to it.
Yeah, he just makes me laugh. He's great.
Yeah.
There's loads of people. It's probably endless.
Is there from sort of from them influences there that you've just mentioned? I guess I've written down one here, so I think it's probably a bit harsh. So I'll increase it. What are the 3 songs that have kind of like soundtracked your life, or that like maybe mean the most to you? Maybe might be a better way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't just limit it to one.
Yeah,
that would have been a tough call. Yeah. I'd say Slide Away has got to be one. It's my favorite song of all time. Any Strokes tune. I just love the Strokes.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a song I've been listening to a load recently, and I can't think of what it is, but I assure you it is good. I don't know. Maybe a ABBA song, because who doesn't love a bit of ABBA?
Well, you can't. You know, they are. It sounds crazy, but obviously, despite how big they are, I do still feel that they're quite, underrated. Which seems silly to say when you think they've got like albums that have sold more copies than like one album on its own has sold more copies of what a lot like more established bands sell in like a lifetime type of thing. But
I think they're I think people see them for only like Dancing Queen. So people think they're just that band, but they're so good. They're like a pre-gig hype up playlist band for me. That's what I'll be listening to.
So if you had a musical time machine, which musical event would you travel back in time to go and see?
Probably have to be Nebworth. Probably have to. I'm sure that's a really boring answer and really common, but it's Oasis at Nebworth.
Yeah, I mean,
better than that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, to be fair, a lot of some of the other people they've said when I've asked this question before, they've mentioned like Woodstock or Isle of Wight Festival back in 1970 with the Jimi Hendrix one and the Who played till like stupid o'clock in the morning. But I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, I think you are the first person that said Oasis Nebworth. I would definitely agree with you on that. So or disappointed I'm not going to see him next summer at Nebworth, but hey,
I know. Tell me about it.
Can't have it all, I guess.
I know. Well, maybe I'd go back to like maybe our first gig just to see how much we've changed.
Yeah,
and heckle us.
I love that. I like that answer. That's really good. Yeah, I like that. Really good. Good. Yeah, I'm loving that. So if you could only listen to 3 albums forever, what would you choose?
It would be, I'd have to have something for all sort of moods, wouldn't I? I'd have to put like a ABBA greatest hits compilation.
Yeah.
Just for when I'm feeling disco-y. Catfish's first album.
Yeah, great album.
And then the White Album by the Beatles, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm getting proper into that at the minute. I have a weird thing with the Beatles. I sort of go in and out. I love the Beatles, but I don't listen to them that often. But then when I do, I get proper stuck in. I go on a binge. That's all I listen to. So yeah, the White Album's been played a lot recently.
Yeah. And are you like one of the like the generation now that's buying vinyl, or are you just strictly like streaming, downloading type thing?
Yeah, I do both. I like to buy vinyl when I can,
Yeah.
but streaming is just easy in it, and it's but I get why people don't like it. From like an artist point of view, I don't like it because we get paid very little. But then like the cost it would take for us to make vinyls, it's not worth it, because we'd have to guarantee that people would buy it, and not everyone does. Like not everyone, I know like my friends that come see us, I know not all of them have like record players. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's finding the balance. But we were actually tempted to do a vinyl run this time, but
Yeah.
I think we've left it too late. Maybe we'll do like a one-off for Record Store Day next year.
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe.
You know, I personally, obviously, you know how much what I think of the band, but I think you'd be surprised. I think there'd be quite a few people that would be like well into the vinyl. I think there's quite a. It's good to see personally. I love buying vinyl.
Yeah.
Much to my missus's disgust, taking up all the room in the house. But I think that there would definitely be a lot of people that would buy either this EP, Long Road from Nowhere, or something more as a special, like a one-off type thing there that you've just sort of hinted at.
I think it's like the pricing of it as well. Like I hate the amount that we charge for like our t-shirts and that, but we have to do it to make any sort of money back. Like we used to do the t-shirts for tenner, and which I was fine with, but it wasn't making sense for us to do that. And then I went to go see another local band that had like the same sort of size of us, and they were selling theirs for like 25 quid. I was like, oh, well, if they're doing that, then we can at least up it to 15.
Yeah.
So I think I know that we'd have to sell the vinyl for maybe a bit more than what like you'd get it at like HMV or whatever. So I think that like puts me off. But that's just a me problem.
So if what would be your go-to bar snack?
Go-to bar snack.
And we've all thrown there as well, what would be your drink of choice as well?
See, I'm a fan of most, if not all, alcoholic beverages, so I probably wouldn't be that fussy. But the Cause is always good.
Yeah,
it's just simple. I was on Guinness the other night. That's always good.
Yeah.
Although I've got some friends over in Ireland, and whenever they come like to the UK and they have a Guinness, they hate it. Like, nah, it's not the same. Yeah. So I get shouted at by them for having fake Guinness. And for the snack, just any form of crisps, whatever they have.
Yeah.
Monster Munch, they're good.
Oh, what flavour? What flavour are we going for?
All of the beef ones.
Yeah, that's a great choice. Is it beef burger? I think it was, wasn't it, that they called it that at one point? Yeah, that's a great choice, definitely. Yeah, I'm loving that, and I'm loving as well how you're basically just going to get stuck into any drink that's put on the table. I'm sort of getting a vibe now and a feeling and a vision in my head of what it'd be like on a night out with you.
Oh, it's can be chaotic.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. So on this this chaotic night out, you also can bring free musical sort of, I guess, idols or sort of the influences. I guess who would you be choosing?
Who'd be good on a night out? I probably have to take Mike Skinner. He'd be one. Just so I can get him drunk enough to agree to do a collab with us or something. That'd be fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Liam Gallagher, just because that'd be chaotic. I feel like I need someone who could sort it out if things boiled over. Who's quite tough. Does The Rock count as a musician? Didn't he just release a rap?
might be stretching it with him. We'll put him in. So you've kind of hinted a little bit at this in one of the earlier questions, but in terms of, probably a bit difficult maybe to answer, but obviously because the EP's just come out today. So in terms of sort of like more new music, what's the plan? Is there going to be maybe like another single release from this EP, or have you got like an unreleased track up your sleeve?
I mean, you know the answer. We definitely don't have an unreleased track up our sleeves. You've heard how unorganized we are. That was never going to happen. We were on about this though in the group chat about how soon we're going to bounce back in the studio. It definitely be sooner than 2 years. that's for sure. I think next it'll be a one-off single to sort of bridge the gap between a next EP or maybe album, depending on how things go. But I got a whole bunch of demos that I've just sent the boys, and I said, pick what you like and pick what you don't, and we'll go from there.
Brilliant, fantastic. So where do you kind of like see the band going over sort of like the next 2 to 3 years? What's sort of like the I guess like the objective or end goal? Well, I hate using that phrase, but that's the same thing. Just to keep how it's going now, just building up. The gigs are getting bigger. We're getting more of like our own crowd now, which is good. We're not just relying on like whoever else is playing we got our own people that are coming out to see us, which is always good. Just for the gigs to get bigger and play bigger venues, play festivals. We like some festival slots, for sure. Just how it's going now, just bigger and better gigs and some support slots, which we're working on, which will be exciting if they come off. Fingers crossed. Definitely. And when you're saying like the bigger venue, is that like back obviously like home, or are you quite happy to sort of go, I don't know, from where you guys are, like Manchester, Liverpool, I guess are probably the sort of like the next big cities from where you guys are based?
100%. Yeah, we got a friend over in uni in Manchester, and she's doing like band management. It's not band management, like music management,
right?
A course over there, and so she's been helping us out getting gigs over in Manchester, and we've got a few penciled in for Liverpool and London as well, which would be good. We did have a island trip as well booked in before COVID hit, and that was gutting that fell through, because I'd love to go, and to play there would be even better. It's ticking 2 boxes, so it'd be good to get that rescheduled at some point. But we just want to play anywhere and all over, and not just be boxed into our small little town.
I love it. I'm really pleased to hear like the ambition that you've got, and I do genuinely feel that you guys have got what it takes to achieve them goals that you've just.
Thank you.
I hate that word. To hit that, and I personally can't see any reason why that won't happen. Unfortunately, that is the end of the podcast. Really appreciate you coming on tonight. I've really enjoyed it, and it's been a pleasure to finally chat to you face to face. Well, as close as you can get on a Zoom call. As you know, I'm obviously a massive fan of you guys, and I really hope that you have continued success with
Thank
Long
you.
Road from Nowhere, and I think looking at the reaction today, that's not in doubt. For anyone who hasn't heard it, it is available to stream and download on all of the usual platforms. You can head to the Rivers social media. You're on Instagram and Facebook, is that's correct?
Yeah, our Twitter kept on getting hacked, so
see, that's a sign of a big artist coming there that they need to get in. So there you go. Head over to the band's social medias on Instagram and Facebook, The Rivers, and check them out on Spotify as well, because as I say, they're on there, Apple Music, iTunes, etc., etc. Thanks very much for coming on, and thanks for everyone who has tuned in to today's episode. You can follow up This Is The Music on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and as well as our website, which is ThisIsTheMusic.com. Dan, thanks very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And
thank you.
Your gig that you mentioned there coming up on the 4th of November.
Yeah.
I hope that you absolutely smash it. And as you say, gain a few more fans and get into the bigger venues.
It's the way. This is what we want.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Dan.
Thank you.